Jess with Hop House Pet Photography and got my girl Bay here today. And we're going to do another episode of Bay's Review this week at the Naval Live Oaks Trail. Check it out with us. Welcome to another edition of Bay's Review. It's Jess here with Hop House Pet Photography, and I got Bay. Today we went and explored the Brown Pond Trail and the Beaver Pond Trail at Naval Live Oaks National Park. It's part of the Florida Park System. And some of the things that we learned about this park today is all the trails are beach sand, which isn't a problem. It does make it a little difficult to walk. At times, you know, walking through the sand at the beach, so there is that. There are no bathrooms. Their parking is on the side of the road, and there's a little bit of shade coverage with trees depending on what part of the trails you went on, but for the most part it's pretty much open sky. We did about 2 miles today doing the Beaver Pond Trail and the Brown Pond Trail. We did not get to the very end of Brown Pond Trail. We decided to turn around because we hit about 2 miles and it's getting a little warm, so Bebe needed a break. So we're headed back to the car now. Overall, I would say this is a 3-star park. If you need just a primitive place to take your dog for miles and miles of walks, I think the total loop is a little bit over 7 miles if you decided to do the total loop. There are tons of little side trails off to each side that we've run into. Some are big, some are not so big, but for the main trails I would say they are really wide, so I would feel comfortable bringing my reactive dog Sailor here. And we have run into a few dogs, and most of them were off leash, but their owners had a good recall. We never had anyone come up to us. In fact, there was one dog that I never saw any person at all, just the dog itself, and it saw us and turned around and ran away. So we ran into probably about 4 or 5 people out here today with dogs. Keep in mind when it gets hot, the sand is going to get really hot too, so it's definitely a morning walk if you're going to do this kind of thing, or an evening walk if you're going to go in the summer. So keep that in mind. And I think Bebe really enjoyed it. There was a bunch of new sniffs. She got to chase some lizards, some squirrels, and I think that was all the wildlife that we saw today. But she really enjoyed the lizards, and those came out of nowhere. But overall, a great park, and I think next week we will explore another trail. There's the Andrew Jackson Trail that I want to take a look at. So that might be next week or another week or 2. So keep your eyes out. Hope to see you out there. Bye. It seems as if the trails aren't really marked very well. We're on the main path, but we've run across several little intersecting paths. So maybe one day we'll explore those, but today we're going to keep on this main path. We found a signage, and I think we're going to take it to Beaver Pond Trail, see if we can find us a pond or something to play in. So it's kind of looked like we've hit a dead end on the trail. There is a sign that says Beaver Pond Trail keeps going, so we're gonna check it out, see what it looks like. Doesn't look too promising. It looks like we've run into a neighborhood. So let's check it out and see what we find. so it looks like we were right. That was the end of the trail, and we are back at what I'm going to call the end of the trail. You can keep going a little bit, but it does dead end into like a neighborhood, into an actual like highway. Well, not a highway, but a street, a neighborhood street. So it does get you a little bit further, but I would probably just turn around here and take another path. All right, so we're back at that intersection where it's had the Beaver Pond Trail, Brown Ponds Trail, and Andrew Jackson Trail. When we got to this sign, we took a right, but I think we're gonna go ahead and continue straight a little bit more over here so we can see, I think that's Brown Ponds Trail. It's a possibility I have Brown's Pond and Beaver Pond mixed up on the signs. Not exactly the best map reader, but we'll take that one and see where it leads. We're gonna give this trail a 3 paws up.